Don't worry, double Titans BT. I'm dead. I'm actually dead here. Man, you know what I'm so not sick of seeing is double Titans BT. Nerf it into the ground? Yeah, I'm actually going to order the team too. I'm actually so sick of double Titans BT. It's not fun. It's really not fun. So, you can expect a double Titans BT nerf. Very hard. Like I said, my suggestion for Titans was actually delete the AP off of it.
So as the clip mentions, mortdog is looking to drastically nerf Titans by potentially removing all of the AP from it. Later, Mort says the nerf will likely just reduce the total amount of AP instead, but still, this has me shocked. Titans has been my favourite item in TFT for numerous sets, and for it to receive such a drastic nerf out of nowhere is crazy to me. But then, after thinking about all the points mortdog raises about Titans, I've changed my mind. Titans Resolve is so egregiously OP that it cannot be left in the state it's currently in. And the state of Titans is genuinely causing design limitations for AD melee carries. But with this nerf, where does that leave AP melee carries like Sylas? What is so OP about double Titans BT that warrants such a drastic nerf? And why is Titans causing these design limitations? But before we get into that, if you want to stay up to date on changes like this in TFT, make sure you subscribe. But honestly, this news makes me so sad. As I've mentioned, Titans is my favourite item in TFT. I even made a video back in set 8 researching and detailing how Titans works and how it stacks. I just love this item. And Titans not having any AP means comps like Cassante reroll, my most popular reroll comp of set 10, will no longer be possible. So this nerf made me think that overall build diversity will greatly suffer. However, my mind was changed after listening more to mortdog. I'll link his VOD in the description, but I've included all the points and the clips in this video. Speaking of, let's cue the first clip.
The thing is, Titans is really bad unless the unit can use all the stats. The fact that most melee AD carries would rather have Titans than Sterix is a problem. If I remember right, Titans gives 25 each. No, it gives 50 each. 50 AD, 50 AP, 20 armor, 20 MR. And that 50 AP is bonkers. 100 AP on a champion is so dumb.
For a long time now, Titans plus BT has been the best and most flexible item combination for any melee carry, regardless if they're AD or AP. But generally, this item combo heavily favoured AD melee carries. Just these two items alone provided so much raw base stats, tankiness, sustain, and burst protection. And as Mort mentions, the raw stats from Titans just surpasses any other items for AD melee carries because it provides more tankiness than Sterix, the same amount of AP from Rabadon, and almost more AD than Deathblade. And those raw stats become absurd when you stack more than one Titans or when you get augments like Gargantuan Resolve. The sheer amount of AD and AP from that competes with Radiant items. I mean, this may be insane for me to say, but I think stacking Titans Resolves like this is just stronger than Radiant items due to how much armor, MR, AD, and AP a single unit can gain. And Titans has always been disproportionately better for AD melee carries than AP melee carries, since AD melee carries have both AD and AP scalings, but that's not true for AP melee carries, since they don't have any AD scaling. And that is fundamentally why Titans is so OP. For an AD melee carry, a single Titans almost gives them everything they could want, and the value of stacking multiple Titans is just astronomical. But with that, let's move on to the next clip.
So like I said, I think we need to take the AP off that item. My guess is the person in charge of balance will take it from 25 to 20. That's what they'll do.
So while I kinda agree with Mort here, if they nerf the AP on Titans, where does that leave AP melee carries like Sylas? Titans will no longer be a good item for him because it will give little, if any, AP. For units like Sylas, Darius, and Aatrox, that leaves Crown Guard and Adeptive Helm for their only options if they want an AP item that also gives resistances and tankiness. But I don't feel like these items will enable AP melee carries as much as Titans did. Crown Guard is the best alternative, but it's just not as much damage or raw stats as Titans. I mean, they could buff the base stats of AP melee carries, but then you'd run into the problem where itemless AP carries would always be better than itemless AD carries. So for example, if you had the choice, you would always play Sylas over Kayn. I personally believe the best option would be to slightly buff Crown Guard or Adaptive, but specifically for melee AP carries and not tanks. tanks don't really need it. When we were discussing this on stream, Chien and Fungal both suggested that solution could be Titans grants Adaptive Force. So then Titans would grant AD if it was on an AD carry, but then AP if it was on an AP carry. Personally, I don't like this idea, because introducing Adaptive Force in TFT for just Titans seems unnecessarily complicated. I feel like there's a better and more simple solution out there. But with that, let's move on to the next clip.
Why is Double Titan BT a problem this set but not previous? It was a problem in previous sets.
You know, that's a really good question. Why is Double Titans BT a problem now? Initially, I thought that this wasn't a problem before set 11, and abusers like Volibear and especially Yone should just get nerfs to their ratios. I mean, Gargantuan Resolve and Titans were meme options last set that weren't really that viable outside of Olaf reroll, and most units like Urgot and Riven could only use a single Titans last set. These units had weaknesses that couldn't be made up for by just stacking multiple Titans. But that is precisely why Double Titans BT is a problem now. Those weaknesses don't really exist anymore, and you can now stack multiple Titans and get away with it. It's the context of the set that matters here. Set 10 had much more AoE CC like through Echo, who was in every comp, whereas CC in set 11 is a lot shorter and a lot less common. So you're not punished as heavily for building Double Titans now as you would have been in the past. For example, Riven was very similar to the current version of Yone we have now, and if it wasn't for the sheer amount of CC in set 10, Riven would have easily abused the power of Double Titans BT. Although another reason why Double Titans BT is so insane on Yone is that he has backline access through his ult so he can ignore tanks. And even if he was stuck on a tank, he has true damage through Reaper. Most CC is single target in set 11, which won't hit Yone when he dashes away and drops aggro. When you think about it, it's not really a surprise that Double Titans BT is an issue in this set, as you're not punished at all for building it. So Double Titans BT has definitely been a problem in the past, especially for units like Riven, but she really needed items like Giant Slayer to get through tanks and QSS for the CC immunity. But in set 11, that is not a problem anymore, and that's where this issue is arising from. But with that, here's the last clip.
Why are we hating on Titans? Because in a world where every champion has really good AP ratios, Titans is a problem.
That is probably the biggest issue with Titans and why it deserves such big nerfs. This item is causing design limitations. For example, imagine how weak Yone would be if Titans didn't exist. His shield exists to keep Yone alive when he dashes to the backline and tanks their aggro. Yone would be useless without that shield because backline carries would just one-shot it. But Titans is causing that shield to be insanely tanky due to the resistances and the extra AP. Double Titans especially is egregiously OP on Yone because it literally doubles that shield power. And this is the same case for many AD melee carries where their AP ratios exist to keep the unit alive. Another example of this is Lee Sin. These AP ratios are likely balanced around the unit themselves being AD, so in turn not getting much AP. And whatever little AP they will have may be through items like Hodge or Giant Slayer. But these items come nowhere near the insane amount of 100 AP that you can get through Double Titans. Double Titans giving so much AP just makes these AD carries far tankier than they were intended to be, which in turn means that when Riot are designing an AD melee unit, they can't really design around their best slot items being items like Hodge, Sterax, Giant Slayer or Guardbreaker because Titans exists. And the raw stats from Titans being like a mini Rabadon plus a Deathblade in one is just so warping in comparison. So these AD melee carries can't really have good AP ratios because of how extreme stacking Titans on those carries can be. Which saddens me to say, but I would rather Titans get nerfed or even removed than let these design limitations continue to exist in TFT. And as much as I don't want to say it because Titans is my favorite item, but mortdog is absolutely right. Titans just isn't healthy in its current form. For melee AD carries, Titans is just vastly superior to AD items like Sterax, Deathblade, Hodge, Guardbreaker, Infinity Edge, and so on. And while many, like I used to, believe the problem are the units, that's not the case. The problem is actually Titans. I have heard people throw around the idea that items like Titans and Rageblade should be unique, but I think that idea isn't very good. That kills so much fun and potential builds in TFT, and making these items unique does not address the underlying issues. But yeah, on that note, I will pass over the questions to you guys. What do you think about Titans? Should all the AP get removed? Was it a problem in previous sets? And will you build this item post-nerf? Let me know in the comments, and remember to subscribe. Anyway, check out these other videos if you want to see more from me, and as always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.